It is my understanding that small, insignificant man is still incapacitated. So I will bring to you stage the next author. Our next author is a centuries-old wizard. Born around the year 800, he was once taught Merlin how to cut a woman in half. Here presenting his new book, Simple Close-Up Magic Volume 2. Please welcome Garamond the Magnificent.
Good evening and huzzah! Firstly, I would like to acknowledge that no, Garamond is not my real name, but my magic name, and also my favorite font. It's quite a clever joke, really, as much of my training comes from the sands of serif. My birth name, being as I am part demon spawn, is unpronounceable to mortal ears, and in fact causes most humans to spontaneously combust at its utterance. Tonight, I would like to discuss my new book, Simple Close-Up Magic Volume 2. But first, I am legally required to read this addendum to Simple Close-Up Magic Volume 1, which I read the last evening with the authors. It has come to my attention that an editing mix-up in the chapter on the trick quarter behind the ear has caused some trouble for a few of our young magi. The ingredients list was as follows: 8 female chin hairs, 3 fetal pigs, 1 fresh tomato, 1 eyeball with the optic nerve still attached, 1 eyeball clean, 1 pint dragon's blood. Keen eyes noted that though the indicated amounts are technically correct, it is necessary that the fetal pigs have not passed 100 days of gestation. Once there, the slightly larger fetal pigs reach a point of quasi-sentience. Thus, when concocted with the remaining ingredients, they do not allow for a quarter to shoot out of one's fingers, but rather momentarily take possession of one's soul. However, because they are fetal pigs, they pretty much just turn the magician into a vegetable. No big deal. With that out of the way, here are some tricks from Simple Close-Up Magic Volume 2. Removing one's own thumb. 1 second, your thumb is whole. The next, it is halved. And then it is whole again. Such a miraculous illusion, but how is it done? I've heard other magicians say that one simply needs to stick their opposite thumb through their fingers to create the illusion that they are having their thumbs. For shame. This is not a magic, but a cheap whore's trick. To truly complete the trick that will be sure to delight and disgust your fans, you will need the following: 1 tusk of narwhal, 3 golden eggs, 4 pints noble's blood, 0.2 grams of white flour. It is important when acquiring the narwhal tusk that you do not slay the narwhal. In fact, it is the magical bond with the live narwhal through the tusk that will allow the trick to succeed. It would also behoove you to bring a small trophy as tribute to the narwhal. Otherwise, it may turn on you and stab you in the throat. I have seen far too many young magicians go this way. Sourcing the golden eggs might prove difficult. Fortunately, species does not matter. I would recommend golden goose eggs, as I seem to have the easiest time finding those. Aesop is a wonderful golden goose farmer. If, however, you don't have a solid grasp on time travel or multiverse traversal spells, I would suggest growing a beanstalk as an alternative. To make things even easier, I have for sale on my website www.garamondmagnificent.biz many variety of magic bean. No more tracking down old men and lugging cows around with you everywhere. I even have a store on Amazon, so if you have Amazon Prime, you could have your magic beans by tomorrow. Once your beanstalk has grown to maturity, getting the golden eggs is as simple as climbing up the beanstalk, slaying a few giants, and stealing a goose. The best part is that you now have a steady supply of golden eggs for as long as you keep the goose healthy. Now to do the trick, grind a bit of the narwhal tusk no longer than 40 picometers. If you can't eyeball this, it might be necessary to shrink yourself to properly measure this down. With this, mix this with the 0.25 grams of flour and noble's blood. Let it all dry out. Meanwhile, crack the eggs and crush the shells. The egg itself is unnecessary for the trick, but do not dispose of them. They make great protein-packed treat. Perhaps eat them after a mystical workout inspired by my other book, Whiz Hardbody. Workout the Warlock way. Now that your noble's blood mixture has dried, add the crushed golden eggshells. Mix thoroughly with mortar and pestle until it is pulverized uniformly, reminiscent of cocaine. Now simply snort the mixture before the big show and your thumb will pop off on command. Be sure to return to the narwhal after each trick, tribute in tow. Otherwise, the narwhal may decide not to return your thumb after the next incantation. Next, the never-ending scarf. The magician tugs on a scarf within his sleeves and it just keeps coming. How does one accomplish this? By now, your understanding of pocket universes should provide ample ideas. Like pulling a rabbit from a hat, the basis for the infinite scarf lies within one's ability to conjure properly. The distinction in this case with the scarf is that instead of a pocket universe, we will be using a pocket dimension. The distinct advantage being that we don't have to end a universe for the sake of a trick. Pocket dimensions also have added convenience in that they will not collapse and decapitate you. The best way to summon a pocket dimension is to learn from your local science and magic expert. Unfortunately, the spells can't be reprinted as it was purchased by Michael Jackson's estate in the year 2169. After you have summoned your pocket dimension, place it within your sleeve and pull out your infinite scarf. It's as simple as that. But wait, Garamond, how do I get an infinite scarf? Magician's secret, it's not actually infinite. Forcing an audience to endure a scarf that long would be a truly magnificent form of torture, though. Having said that, consider that the scarf should be long enough so as to awe, but not enough as to bore. I find the sweet spot is about 20. A great place to find scarves is Goodwill. If you are of the miserly persuasion, which who among us has not been guilty of this, then a fine substitute would be to loot a universe that has recently undergone an extinction level event. For my last trick, I would like to do a live trick for you. This is called the Reattach the Beard. It's a classic twist on the reattaching of the rope trick, where the rope is cut and the rope is then put back together. It's always been a favorite of mine. You simply mix all of the ingredients together and you rub the balm on the cut hairs and the beard will mend itself as if nothing has happened. Be wary though, you only have 30 minutes before the beard hairs no longer recognize each other and refuse to reconnect. So, could I please get a volunteer to come up to the stage? See one hand over here, please. Come. A hand for my assistant for the evening. Huzzah! What is your name, assistant?
Elise?
Elise. Okay, Elise. An ordinary pair of scissors, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Now give the old beard a tug. Real beard, yes?
Yeah.
All right. Now cut it. She has cut the beard. Now, we will mend it. Thank you for your participation. Please remain seated for the duration of the show, though you will only need the edge of it. Here is the beard. Now we need simply mix our ingredients together. I have all these here. 6 pubic hairs from your most recent lover. Courtesy of Madame Xanadu. 6 ounces of your arch nemesis's sperm. Lastly, 1 can Diet Coke. And then, what's this? 4 serpents from the head of a Medusa. Does anybody have 4 serpents from the head of a Medusa? Even Gorgon hair will do. Same premise. One has Medusa hairs on them anymore, like they used to. I mean, it's got to be in here somewhere, right? Sindra